Okay, snapshot of what's happening today. I'm not an actual pilot, and I have never successfully landed a CRJ-900. In fact, I've had some more bad experiences. I'm pretty proficient on the flight sims on the A321neo, on the 737-800, and the 767. Those are the primary aircraft that I fly. But the CRJ is a crapshoot. So I thought it would be fun to take a jaunt in the CRJ. So this is actually a sanctioned flight. We're going to fly from Detroit to Greensboro, and we're going to see how it goes. Right? Uh, just hang on to your hats, but the last thing you want to hear your passengers, your pilot say if you're a passenger, is, "Hey, I'm not sure how this is going to go today," and I'm not. We're going to give it our best shot and try. It's not what you want your pilot to say. So let's see what happens here. All right. Looks like we're supposed to be flying out on runway 04R, but we'll see. Also, there's a way to turn on the radios on this one here. I'm going to have to figure out so I can get, say, Intentions involved. Let's see if I can figure things out. The first thing we want, though, on this aircraft is see, I've got my controls here. We need power. And I think I can get a generator. I got nothing yet. Hold on. We'll figure it out. It's been a while since I got in this aircraft. Get those lights up a little bit there. I told you I'm going to be fishing a little bit today, but enjoy at my expense. Put that on arm. I could get out the checklist. That would be good, wouldn't it? Parking brakes, landing gear, flight spoilers, nose wheel steering off, throttle yes to off, flaps to 0, battery on, fire test. I will say I do like this plane. I like the layout of it. Okay, so the battery master is on, fire, APU, and main battery. So it's Alright, I'll go ahead and do it. I thought maybe I'm doing something wrong. I thought I could just stay on APU. Gen switch is on. APU start, stop, start. Gen switch is auto. Yes. Nav lights on. Logo lights. I don't know. FMS, program the FMS. It says go straight for the FMS, so let's do that. Let's see if this works the same as, no, this FMS is a hair different. Give me a menu. Index. Status. Position. Ident. So we are at KDTW. Bam. Okay. Our waypoint info. Well, let me pull it. Let's see. It's got a pilot route list. We're looking for KDTW. Where's my next? Oh, there's, okay. Okay, so we're looking for KDTW to KGSO. All right. And our flight number is, let's get it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Delta Sky Team and our global partners, welcome on board your Delta flight. As you're making your way to your seat, we kindly ask that you please step into your row and out of the aisle as quickly as possible. Allow those passengers behind you to make their way to their seat as well. If you're traveling with a larger rollerboard, please place it in the overhead bins, either wheels or handles first, on either side of the aircraft. Keeping in mind that the overhead bin space is shared space, so if the bin directly above your seat is already full, please go ahead and utilize the next available space. If you brought in a second item with you, such as a briefcase, tote bag, laptop bag, backpack, you can go ahead and utilize that space under this seat in front of you, so that we can utilize that overhead bin space for your larger bags without having to check them plain sight to your final destination.
That's right.
Feel free to utilize your mobile phones, tablets, and e-readers while we're here at the gate. However, once we close our boarding door, you must please place these items into airplane mode or turn off your cellular service.
All right.
So I'd like to thank you all for choosing to fly Delta. Welcome on board.
Right, so one of two things here. I need to, at this point, before I do anything else, I need to be sure that our radio is on. And it's where I've had issues before. Aha! We can do this. Okay. That's what was wrong before when I couldn't get the radio on. Okay. So I've got VHF. Why does that not come on this one? I'm not going to question it for now. Okay, so based on that, now let's go to say intentions. Nothing was ever wrong. I thought something was wrong with my radio. It wasn't. You've got to turn on the radio on the CRJs, and for that matter, see, it's the 767. You have to physically turn the radio on, or say intentions will say the radio's off. Okay, so here we are. And our radio is set for departure. Endeavor 5156, radio check.
Endeavor 5156, Detroit approach sounds great from here.
Brian, it's good afternoon. Can you get our IFR clearance?
I'll get our IFR clearance.
Metro clearance, Endeavor 5156. We'd like to receive our IFR clearance, and we have information X-ray.
I am working on that clearance. Stand by. Endeavor 5156, Metro clearance, cleared to Greensboro via the lids for departure, then as filed. Climb and maintain 4000. Expect flight level 37010 minutes after departure. Departure on 132.025 squawk 2531. And your departure runway was changed to 21 right.
Right, departure runway is runway 21 right, and we are going out on the lids here, so we're going to find lids, departure, there we go. And Grivy. And we're not entering the arrival information because it is subject to change. So now let's look at our legs. She got legs. Right. Alright, so now we're going to put in some of our info. Let's bring up our Navigraph, and this will give us our brief. Okay, for this flight, we are our block fuel is 10,105. So we're going to put in 10,500. I'm doing that because we're running the APU, and I want to buy me a little buffer there. Okay, for passengers, we've got a passenger manifest of 79 passengers. Everything else I like. I might do cockpit external glasses. Tinted. Like that. Our takeoff data is next. I might have to enter it differently. This is where I'm flying blind a little bit on how to do this. The armor thrust levels and anti-skid is armed. I get a little crazy on this. Get this set up the way I want. Okay, here we go. We'll make it. We can do this. So our VREF, we want to load our takeoff speed. So is this right? This is
Delta 1467 requesting IFR clearance with information go. I am working on that clearance. Stand by.
Good morning, this is Delta 258 with IFR with information Lima.
It says our trim needs to be 7.5, but I'm comparing these numbers and they're a lot different on the CRJ-900. So see, that says 46, 46, 54, 146, 146, 54. Anyway, load those takeoff speeds. and they're all loaded here. Okay. Alright, so our takeoff speeds are loaded. Trim needs to be 7.5. I need to bring up trim. So here we go. Right now, see if I can do this. Okay. Got it. Let's go through our panels again here to be sure everything's set correctly. You know, bleed sources on both. Recirculate on. Air conditioning on. Probes need to stay off for now. I don't know if that really matters. I would say we are a sterile cockpit now. We want to place both the engines on idle.
Door. Door.
Ah. Right, does it let me know? Bring engines to
Detroit clearance is Southwest 2611. We're at gate 21. I have information
switches are set to idle for start, engine start. Okay, probes are off for this. Lead air normal. Alright, we're going to see if we can start like this. Monitor. Okay. I need fuel. I need to bring up fuel.
Louisville clearance, Delta 1828, IFR to Louisville. Okay, we're cleared to Louisville via the Club 3 departure, then that's 5, climb maintain 5,000, we'll expect 280, 10 minutes after departure, departure on 1895, squawk 3552, Delta 1828.
Delta 1828, route back correct. Contact ground on 122.725 when ready.
Brian, you're in charge of all comms.
Understood. I'm in charge of comms now.
Brian, please get push and start clearance.
Requesting pushback and engine start clearance now.
Endeavor 5156, we are requesting clearance for pushback and engine start with information X-ray.
Endeavor 5156, pushback and engine start approved. Tail southwest.
$4,000.
Metro ground, Delta 1654, with information Lima, ready for push and start.
Millie, do I need to leave on DC service, or can I cut it off?
It's not clear what you mean by leave. If you're asking about departure clearance, you have that already. If you're referring to something else, please clarify.
Millie, I want to know if I need to turn
It's
off.
important to confirm with ATC about any ground services like de-icing or fuel before shutting down. You can ask them directly if you can cut off the service. Just say, ground, Endeavor 51556, can we terminate ground services? That way, you'll have a clear answer.
Millie,
If you're referring to ground services like de-icing or fuel, it's best to confirm with ATC. You can say, ground, Endeavor 51556, can we terminate ground services? That way you'll have a clear answer. If you're asking about turning off ground services, it's best to confirm with ATC. You can say, ground, Endeavor 51556, can we terminate ground services? That way you'll have a clear answer.
Millie, there is a switch that says DC. Do I leave it on or off?
The DC switch should typically be left on during flight to ensure that the direct current systems are powered. However, if you're on ground power or if instructed by maintenance, you might turn it off. Always refer to the aircraft's operating manual for specific guidance.
Brian, get our taxi clearance, please.
Getting our taxi clearance now.
Metro Ground, Endeavor 5156, ready to taxi. We have X-ray.
Endeavor 5156, taxi to runway 21 right via Kilo cross runway 9er left, then Victor, Victor 2, Victor Mike, Mike 6.
Runway 21 right, Kilo cross 9 left, Victor, Victor 2, Victor Mike, Mike 6. Endeavor 5156.
I never knew about the radio part until today. That's new. We want FMS for our nav source. Why does it say radar off? Something I need to do. Also, our QNH, sir, currently 30.06. It's actually 30.20.
Southwest 913 requesting pushback and engine start.
Southwest 913, pushback and engine start approved, tail northeast.
Pushback and engine start approved, tail northeast, Southwest 913.
Alright, I'm not having any, yeah, I'm having some issues with my nose wheel steering. Let me see how I get it to work. It's not there. Brake on. Oh, it's because I'm pressing them. Millie, how do I make my rudders control my nose wheel steering?
To control your nose wheel steering with the rudders, you need to ensure that the rudder pedals are connected to the nose wheel steering system. Typically, this is done by pressing the rudder pedals, which will move the nose wheel left or right depending on the direction you press. Make sure to use gentle inputs to maintain control, especially during taxiing. This technique is crucial for precise maneuvering on the ground.
a hiccup on nozzle steering I'm working on right now. I don't know how to get my nozzle steering working. I've had it where nozzle steering was a part of my steering column, but I gotta figure this out real quick before I go. Well, I can't go without it. Billy, I need some help. Why is my nose wheel steering not working?
If your nose wheel steering isn't working, it could be due to a few reasons. First, check if the rudder pedals are fully engaged and not stuck. Also, ensure that the nose wheel steering switch is in the correct position, usually on for taxiing. If there's still an issue, it might be a hydraulic or mechanical problem that needs
I
attention.
know what's wrong.
Always
Thank you.
good to troubleshoot before takeoff.
I just figured out what was wrong. I know why they're not working. That is why we have this. So it's hydraulics. Well, that says closed. What does that mean? No, wrong way. But it's directly related to the hydraulics. I do not have the hydraulics set correctly, and that's why it's not working. No, that's not it. Also, by the way, my probes can be on now. There's a switch, and that's what it is. There's a switch from hydraulics. I have none of my hydraulics on. That was so not smart. Okay, that's it. And that is why we flounder. Okay. If you'll look now. Wait, still nothing. Let's look outside. Yeah, it is working. But the panel inside's not. But it was hydraulics. Okay. So now I can steer. By the way, it steers pretty good too. Oh, steers a little too good.
Flight attendants, prepare your doors for departure, please. Cross-check and all call. Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome on board your Delta flight. So in just a moment, we'll be showing you a brief presentation on the safety features of this aircraft. We kindly ask that you please direct your attention to the video monitors and flight attendants in the aisle, even if you are a Cougar flyer. Thank you so much.
Welcome aboard, and thank you for choosing Delta for 100 years and counting.
Delta.
Delta. Delta.
Delta Airlines.
The health and safety of our customers and crew is our #1 priority and the shared responsibility of everyone on board. So, before we depart, please pay attention to this important message. Stow all carry-on items in an overhead bin and place smaller items completely under the seat in front of you.
Larger electronic devices must be placed in a bag. Handheld portable electronic devices, including mobile phones, should also be secured.
Keep the aisles, exits, and bulkhead areas clear. If you lose an electronic device in your seat, please do not adjust your seat and ask a crew member for help.
As we leave the gate, fasten your seatbelt by inserting the metal tip into the buckle and adjusting the strap so it's low and tight across your lap. To release, lift the top of the buckle. If your seat has a shoulder harness, attach the metal tip to the fitting on the belt. To release, push the metal tip down. Stay seated with your seatbelt fastened when the seatbelt sign is on, and keep it fastened whenever you're seated in case of sudden rough air. In the event of rough air, the crew might also need to buckle up for safety. We appreciate your understanding if our service is interrupted.
Federal regulations require all passengers to comply with all crew members' instructions, along with the posted placards and lighted information signs throughout the cabin. Smoking, vaping, the use of e-cigarettes or any smokeless product, including chewing tobacco, is not allowed on any Delta flight. Federal law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying restroom smoke detectors.
There are 8 exits on this plane. 8 doors, 4 on each side. Each door has a detachable slide that can be used as a raft. In the event of an evacuation, leave all bags behind. Carry-on baggage will slow the evacuation. All exits are clearly marked with the green exit symbol. Locate the nearest exits and remember, they might be behind you. If we lose power, lights will illuminate the aisles to guide you to an exit.
It's unlikely, but if cabin pressure changes, oxygen masks will drop from the panels above your seat and inside the lavatories. Reach up and pull a mask or streamer down to start the flow of oxygen. Remove any face covering and place the mask over your nose and mouth. Slip the elastic strap over your head and adjust the mask if necessary. Breathe normally and note the oxygen is flowing, so don't worry if the bag doesn't inflate. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
A water evacuation is also unlikely, but just in case, life vest are in a compartment beneath or adjacent to your seat. To use, remove the vest from its container by pulling on the tab and then opening the pouch. Slip the vest over your head. Wrap the strap around your waist, attach it to the buckle in front, and adjust securely around your waist. As you leave the plane, inflate the vest by pulling down on the red tab at the bottom, or manually inflate it by blowing into the tube at shoulder level. A water-activated light is attached to each vest. For children under 35 pounds, place the vest around their waist and secure the strap between the legs. See your safety card for more information. Additional life vests for in-lab children are in marked compartments at the front and rear of the plane. We'll distribute these vests if
Brian,
necessary.
we're holding short at runway 21 right for
Bring your
takeoff.
seat to its upright position and stow your tray table, footrest, and leg rest.
Aisle
Ensure you
contact tower for
fasten your
takeoff
seatbelt
clearance.
low and tight across your lap, carry-on items secured, and armrests are at resting position, or as otherwise indicated on the placard in front of you. If you have a suite door, ensure it's open. See placard instructions inside the suite door for opening instructions in case of emergency. Finally, take a moment to review the safety information card in your seat pocket.
As we finish our safety check, please let us know if you have any questions.
As we take off into the future, sit back and relax. And from all of our crew, thank you for flying with Delta, today and for the next 100 years.
Brian, we're ready for that takeoff clearance.
Aisle contact tower for takeoff clearance.
Metro Tower, Endeavor 5156, holding short of runway 21 right. We are ready for departure.
Endeavor 5156, Metro Tower, runway 21 right, winds 310 at 8, RNAV Jolu, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 right, RNAV Jolu, cleared for takeoff. Endeavor 5156.
Endeavor 5156, contact departure on 124.05.
Switching to departure on 124.05. Endeavor 5156. Detroit departure, Endeavor 5156, afternoon climbing past 1500.
Endeavor 5156, Detroit departure, radar contact, climb via the SID.
Climb via the SID, Endeavor 5156.
Alright, that was a little bit creepy.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we climb to our cruising altitude, we'd like to extend a special thank you to each of you, and a welcome back to our SkyMile members and Million Milers. Your business and loyalty are greatly appreciated by the entire Delta family. For your safety, it's important to remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened anytime the seatbelt sign is on. Even if the sign is off, please keep your seatbelt fastened in case we experience any unexpected rough air. We ask that you also please remember to use caution if opening the overhead bins to prevent injury from articles that may have shifted during takeoff. We've now reached an altitude where it's safe to use approved electronic devices, and a listing of these devices can be found in Sky Magazine in the seat pocket in front of you. On today's flight in the economy cabin, it will be our pleasure to offer you complimentary Coca-Cola products, Starbucks coffee, water, juices, a variety of complimentary snacks, as well as a selection of our fresh eats items and all-day goodies. Beer, wine, and spirits are available complimentary for our first class and Delta Comfort Plus passengers, as well as available for purchase for the main cabin. A complete listing of available beverages, as well as of our fresh eats items, can be found in the menus in your seat pocket. Please be reminded that Delta accepts only major credit or debit cards for onboard purchases of beverages and snacks. However, you can use your Delta SkyMiles American Express card to save 15% and earn double miles on all Delta purchases. For your enjoyment, each seat is equipped with your own personal entertainment system. On it, you can view a selection of complimentary as well as on-demand TV shows, movies, and music. You will find that this screen will work best with just a light tap of your fingertip. Feel free to use your own headsets. Otherwise, if you do need a headset, just let a flight attendant know they are yours complimentary for this and any future Delta flights.
maintain flight level 310.
Climb and maintain flight level 310. Endeavor 5156.
Endeavor 5156, do you know the arrival runways at our arrival airport? Brian, can you get the arrival runway at our arrival airport? It says to be 23 right. I want to make sure.
Runway 23 right is our assigned arrival runway at KGSO.
Endeavor 5156, climb and maintain flight level 340.
Climb and maintain flight level 340. Endeavor 5156.
Endeavor 5156, contact Cleveland Center on 135.375.
Switching to Cleveland Center on 135.375. Endeavor 5156. Cleveland Center, Endeavor 5156. Good afternoon. We're climbing through 17,000, aiming for flight level 340.
Endeavor 5156, Cleveland Center, identified. Good afternoon, altimeter 30.2.
5156, Cleveland Center, climb flight level 360.
Climbing to flight level 360, Endeavor 5156.
This thing climbs slow, really slow. I think it's not very well balanced. It's just my opinion.
Level 370, Endeavor 5156.
Anybody out there got a book, CRJ-900 landing for dummies or something? I need one really bad right now. So all of you out there who've been wondering about the radio in the CRJ, if you're a say intentions person and you're like, the radio won't work, it was all about just hit the buttons. I never knew that's all you had to do. Okay, so now I do. My life's complete. Okay. I have flown a lot.
Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Unable to provide direct. Bank angle. 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 Bank angle.
To be honest with you, I'm not sure. It's
Bank
not the first
angle.
time.
Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank.
Gotta recover. I can't look out in front of me. Yeah, out of the instrument. Right, that's crazy. I don't know. Okay, that right there, why it kicks off and why I had that issue. I have
Bank
no
angle.
idea. Whoa, there goes again.
Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle.
All right, I'm
You don't have the distance.
Bank angle.
oh, I've got 11,000
Bank
feet.
angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle.
And this is where this ends. There. All right. I cannot explain it. Okay, so we're going to.
Endeavor 5156, contact Cleveland approach on 125.5.
Contacting Cleveland approach on 125.5, Endeavor 5156. Cleveland departure, Endeavor 5156, afternoon, descending through 3,500.
Endeavor 5156, Cleveland departure identified. Good afternoon, altimeter 30.17.
And we're ending this stream. This is I may have stalled. I have to go back and see if we can watch exactly what happened. In fact, let's I tell you what, let's do that.
Delta 5330, traffic at your 11 o'clock, 4 miles. Same altitude, Cessna 172.
Let's see if we can find out where it messed up. Alright, we're at, we're way back here. Hold on, we're at only 5,000 feet here, so let's go press forward a little bit further. Come through the clouds. 14,000. Alright, we're at 19,000. Autopilot is kicked off by now already. And I'm stalling. That's what it was. It was a stall. So I was stalling. So fine. And I couldn't. And I should have known from the over there from my speed in knots. I'm at 20,000. But right now, at this very moment, inside of the cockpit.
Bank angle. Bank angle.
So I can watch here, and I can watch now. I'm gonna go from. I'm at a climb, and I'm supposed to be climbing up to 37,000. I stall, and I don't realize I'm stalling. That's pilot error awareness, and then by the time I realize it, I think I'm up around 22,000, and I must be still climbing a little bit. And it's telling me bank angle, meaning I need to put the nose down. So this will turn into like eventually an irrecoverable stall. And that's why I started getting the dipping nose.
Bank angle, bank angle, bank angle, bank angle.
Alright, it's about to become irrecoverable. There goes the rock. Here we're about to go to full stall now. So we're at about 150 knots right now. And then it becomes like what I never did is I never accelerated back. Try to go back and just simply, if I just simply would have put the nose down and gave it and acknowledged it, but I didn't respond to the stall. The plane was telling me everything was wrong, including kicking the autopilot off, saying, hey, pay attention. And then from there, once I started like plummeting, it got to the point where I went beyond the limits of the craft. So now I'm just literally floundering. I almost had it back for a moment. Then once again I was still a stall. I couldn't and lost it. By then, like I said, the craft would have broke apart. The stresses I put it under, it would have been irrecoverable. But I know what I did wrong now that I've watched it and I've seen it, and it had everything to do with the stall, the mid-air stall. And right now, this is going to be irrecoverable. Right now, okay, well, first of all, my passengers are all throwing up right now. They're not well, and I would not consider myself recovered right now from this. There's no way. But one thing I'll say, I don't know if it's a trim issue, but like right now, I cannot trim. I'm afraid to trim out too much, but if I let go of this wheel, my pitch is still pitched so high up. But we're gonna try. Let's try to see if we can make some adjustments. Right. Millie, what is the normal trim setting for cruise on the CRJ-900? I'm having all kinds of issues with it. Feels like the trim's way out of line.
It sounds like you might be experiencing some trim issues. First, check the trim settings on your control yoke or the trim wheel to ensure they are set correctly for cruise. If it's still feeling off, try adjusting the trim incrementally while monitoring the aircraft's response. Remember, small adjustments can make a big difference. If the problem persists, it may be worth consulting the aircraft manual or checking for any mechanical issues.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle.